We're really in L.A. because we got the Hall of Famer, Laker legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the house. So good to have you, sir.
Nice to be here.
Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Before we want to get into all the basketball talk, I want to talk about something you're doing. You're auctioning off some really cool items here on goldenauctions.com through October 27th. What can fans get and buy from you?
Well, they can buy anything from my career, just about anything. All things I've managed to maintain my possession of. I've collected them all. I'm going to put them up for sale.
What are the proceeds? Go to?
They're going to go to my foundation. I send kids from the LA Unified School District to camp so that they can learn about STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math subjects. We have a waiting list now of 4 or 5 years, and it's a great program, but need some dollars to send the kids up there. So,
incredible.
Good way to use my stuff, because I'm not in the museum business. There's too much of it. I got to do something with it.
Championship rings right
goggles.
there.
I want a pair of Kareem goggles.
Yeah,
19-time All-Star, 6 NBA championships.
He's got a few things.
He's got a few things. Go ahead. Listen, let me get right to it, because we're out in L.A. and we're looking at the Los Angeles Lakers this year. First of all, I want to know how you felt about LeBron James electing to come here, A, and B, what are your expectations for the Lakers this year?
Well, I think it was a coup for the Laker franchise to get LeBron. He brings so much, both on the court and off the court. I really appreciate his sensitivity to what's going on, what he's doing for those kids at that school in Akron. Oh, my goodness, that's incredible. And it can't be anything but good for the team and for the city. It's great to have him here.
What about your expectations for the Lakers this season?
Well, they're going to make the playoffs.
Okay. All right.
That's an easy one.
Yep.
How well they'll do depends on how the guys respond, how the other teammates respond. They've got a great core of young players, and having LeBron on the court will give them the opportunity to escape all that scrutiny, because he's going to attract so much attention, and they will have a chance to have their games improved.
So you don't think the attention is going to hurt them, because the attention will be geared towards him, and as a result, they get to prioritize just playing basketball as opposed to getting caught up in the paparazzi kind of atmosphere that he's going to create?
Right. I think that they could just forget about that and think about winning games. That's what this is all about, and they can focus on that. And I'm sure that the leadership up there, they got Magic at the top, he'll be able to give them some wisdom as to how to handle this thing, because he handled it for his whole career and did a great job.
Kareem, before I get to the basketball of it, when you talk about I Promise and all the stuff that LeBron is doing, it occurs to me that you were from a kind of very politically active era, and you were socially conscious, and you talked about it. Then we got to an era in the 80s, really, and 90s that seemed very corporate, and it seemed as though a lot of athletes there were no Muhammad Alis around anymore, and guys were, especially in the leagues, were afraid, it seemed, to say things, to offend anybody, to stand up for social issues. And now, again, we see LeBron, the best player in the game, as you once were, and he's at the forefront of this kind of stuff. Is this a product of the times that we're in that allows for someone to do that, or is that the product more of the individual, in this case LeBron, making the choice to be that way?
I think LeBron responded to what was going on around him. Look at the death of Tamir Rice. That happened in Cleveland. A 12-year-old child executed by a police officer. It's unbelievable that happened. LeBron said something about it and took a lot of flack, but it didn't stop him from talking. And that's what I mean about his quality, his leadership qualities. He's not going to sit back. Kind of reminds me of what happened with Louis Armstrong when they didn't want to integrate the schools in Arkansas, and Louis Armstrong called the president out on it. He said that President Eisenhower didn't have any guts, and that was extraordinary, and nobody expected that from Louis Armstrong.
So it's the individual shaping history more than history allowing the individual the opportunity.
I mean, that situation developed there in Cleveland, and LeBron spoke out about it, and he was absolutely correct, and so many Black Americans responded in so positively, because that's the type of leadership that we need.
So that was, I was curious to know your take on that. We were having an argument earlier in this show about I'm saying LeBron is bringing Showtime back to L.A. Showtime in terms of style of play, because there's going to be fast breaks, and when your best player passes the ball, that's infectious, right? As you aged, Magic became the best player. Stephen A. says, nope, Kobe and Shaq was Showtime too. I'm saying they're excellent, but it's not the same thing. Who's right?
Well, I think you can't say that Bill Russell's dominant teams were the same as Larry Bird's dominant teams. They were different. So, I will have to defend the era that I played in at Showtime. Kobe and Shaq did their own thing, and look at the success that they achieved. Three world championships in a row. So, just let them.
But do you think LeBron will bring that Magic Johnson fast break Lakers team style of play back?
We have no idea. The whole idea is to win. That's what it's all about, and we'll let the styles determine themselves as the season plays out. But, you have to give the team the opportunity to do that and find their voice and their method to win. And so we're going to watch that.
I appreciate your kindness. You didn't want to tell Max he's wrong. I got it. I understand. But let me kind of say you're wrong. You said Kobe and Shaq didn't do it that way. Let me move on. Because one of the things I'm interested in knowing from you, Kareem, is, when we look at today's game, it's evolved to such a degree that you've got to have the ability to stretch the floor as a big to really, really be formidable in the NBA level at the 4 and the 5 position to some degree. The Al Horfords of the world come to mind because he could step away from the basket. He could shoot. Joel Embiid, even though he doesn't need to be doing that, he could step away from the basket and occasionally shoot some jump shots. I want to know your thoughts about how the game has evolved as it pertains to the big man. Does the big man have a role in basketball in this day and age? And if so, what is that role in your mind?
Well, certainly the big man has a role defensively, because you need someone with some length that can guard the basket and deny layups. Mm-hmm. Bill Russell's Celtics were successful because he didn't let anybody get second shots, mm-hmm. and anybody trying to shoot layups near the basket got traumatized. Mm. Bill Russell did that consistently. That was the mark of that team. So each team, has its mark, how it makes its will felt, and how they win games. So LeBron and this present Laker team have the chance to make their own statement, mm-hmm. to come out and do it their way, and we'll find out what that is.
Okay. And in summation, the Kobe Shaq Lakers were excellent, but they weren't Showtime.
That's what Kareem played in a totally different era, totally different rules than what these guys are dealing with. Kareem, appreciate you. GoldenAuctions.com, you get great stuff like his 82 ring with the Lakers and, of course, UCLA as well. Appreciate you.
The auction ends the end of this month.
October 27th.
October 27th.
First take rolling on. Coming up, should Jimmy Butler and Kawhi Leonard want to play with LeBron here in Los Angeles? We'll discuss it. And last night's Warriors-Thunder game was closer than you might think, and Kevin Durant says expect more games like that. That was without Westbrook on the court. We'll see what Stephen A. and Max have to say about it next.
My first commercial. You've heard one voice of Papa John's for a long time. If